welcome to our second ever episode of Spicy Scholars, the show where knowledge gets fired up. Today, for our guest, we have Kim Young, not only an award-winning journalist, but one of Brockport's best journalism professors.
Nice.
Thanks for joining us today, Kim.
Glad to be here, Nathan, I think.
Yeah, well, we have 6 wings, 6 sauces, and 6 questions.
Okay.
You ready to jump right into it?
I am ready.
Let's
do it.
Well, we're going to go right into it today. We're going to start off with our first sauce, which is the jalapeno pepper, a Scoville of 8,000, and this is 1 flame, so it's the lowest.
Okay.
So this one isn't bad.
1 flame.
Yep. What we do is we just try and do a little dab here. Unfortunately, we have to tap on the table. We do 1 little dab, and we'll dip right into it.
Okay.
Perfect.
Good?
Yep.
All right.
All right. So put this back up. All righty. We'll have the wing, and then we'll do the question. You ready?
Okay, ready.
All right.
So we're just going to dab it in there.
Yep.
Okay.
Grab some on there. Starting off low. It's not too bad, right?
Okay. No, not too bad. Yep.
All right. That was a chewy wing that time. Can you walk me through your journey into radio and television news reporting, and what was like your spark into the field?
So, listen, as a child, I always was curious and wanted to know people's stories, and so it just sort of morphed into that. But mostly, I was always told on my report cards, disturbs the class with incessant talking. And my mother said, I don't actually think you can make a living talking, so the challenge was there. So, I fell in love with storytelling. I started my own little newspaper when I was a kid, and then I decided to go into broadcast. So I started in radio. I wrote for print, and then spent most of my career as a television reporter, anchor. So,
wow.
And then went into academia. So it's a shortened version of a long story, for sure.
Right. So was it like straight out of high school you were jumping right into it? It was a no-brainer?
Yeah, I mean, so in high school, I did an internship or a shadowing at a newspaper in Dunkirk, actually, the Dunkirk Observer, a friend of mine, and I decided to do that. And so I was already bitten by the bug. Prior to that, I just remembered this. When I was about 12, one of my very best friends, her dad wrote for the New York Times. He wrote columns, and so I was just enthralled with that. But he would give us 50 cents to watch the nightly news. At the time, it was Chet Huntley and David Brinkley, and he'd give us 50 cents to write a summary of the news.
Right.
So I was bitten then, and then in high school, and then I just decided to pursue it in college at Oswego.
Oh, nice. Sweet. You ready to go right into the
I
next
knew you were.
question,
I knew we'd have to do more than this. Okay.
We
ready.
can't stop there. So our second sauce is going to be the original habanero extra hot pepper.
Okay.
This has a Scoville of 200,000 with 2 flames. So it's the second one up on their scale. It only goes up to 5. So
Okay.
it's not too bad.
Not too bad, says you.
Yeah. Well, this one turns red, so maybe it's a mind over matter where it gets a little bit hotter.
I can see that. Yeah. All right. And it says extra hot. You're lying to me, but I see that. It says extra.
Well, this one's 200,000.
200,000?
We're going to add another 0 onto our last hot sauce.
Oh, right.
So yeah, this one is not bad.
Not bad. Okay.
No, but, alrighty. Ready to go right into it?
I'm ready to go into it.
All
Okay.
right.
We'll just
Generous
smear
down.
it on there.
Picks up a little bit, right?
Yep. That's a kick for sure.
Also, we decided prior that we are going to see how long we can go without drinking milk.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
Oh, we're not doing it anymore?
No, it's good. We're
Okay,
gonna see
let's do it.
who goes first. It'll be me.
Okay. So you've worked in radio and television. Which medium do you find more challenging, radio or television, and why?
So listen, Nate, I think they both have their pluses and challenges. I think in radio, the thing I loved about radio, especially working for National Public Radio, is the ability to tell stories with words, right? So, people don't see me, and so it's just my voice, and it's more intimate, right? So people are deeply immersed in storytelling from audio. In television, which is my love, I mean, I loved television reporting. I still love it. I think that the challenge is having to look really good all the time while you're reporting. And so that was new to me. And when I first started in television, I had to have a consultant work with colors, and I had my lipstick had to match my blazer, and so that was all new to me because I'm a get in there, get your hands dirty, and report on things. So that was interesting, and people would call and say, she wasn't wearing a hat in that live shot. I hope she's not cold or whatever. The other thing, the challenge with television is people know you.
Yeah.
And so, you know, when I'm raising 3 kids and we're going out shopping or whatever, there's the news lady.
Right.
And then I'm like to my kids, don't misbehave. Oh my God, don't misbehave. So, I mean, there's a challenge that, you know, I think you can also get in your head with that.
Right.
Like I'm on television, but that's not, you know, necessarily all I am. And so it took me a while to understand until somebody said to me, you know, this is a job. Don't get lost in that, and don't ever let your head become so big that you don't know who you are at the end of the day.
Right.
So that was a challenge for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I can keep talking if you want.
Okay. I think you answered the question well. So.
Okay, yep, okay.
Yeah, I started out in radio, then went over to, when I graduate, I'll be going over to TV. Which
Great.
I like wearing my sweatpants in the morning in radio. That's one thing.
Well, I think about that, right. I would put curlers on and when I was working in radio on top of my headset, and could never do that. Yeah. Oh, God, here we go.
Alrighty. So this sauce is the chipotle pepper sauce.
Yep, my nose is already running.
415,000, 3 flames. So we're still going up. You're doing well so far. Now.
Is it normal not to feel all of your tongue, or is that?
We have an EMT behind the camera.
Oh, very good. I'm very glad to hear that.
We're all good?
Yeah, we're all good.
Okay, we got the thumbs up.
Okay. So, all right, here we go. Good?
Yep, you got plenty.
Yeah, I did. I mean, come on.
You're brave.
I am brave. Thanks for saying that.
Alrighty. So, let's do the wing. That's
okay.
it. You already said the Scoville and stuff. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. Oh, okay.
See, I think that's not as bad as the last one.
Says you. I mean, says you.
Me.
Okay. Yeah, that's hot.
Alrighty. Ready for the question?
I'm really ready.
Can you remember a time when you covered a major developing story that was so unique you knew you would never forget it?
A major developing story. Many. I think one of the stories that really sticks out, and there's so many, right? One of the first school shootings that happened was in the market I was working in, Edinburgh, Pennsylvania. A young man opened fire at an 8th grade dance, and this is just following certainly Columbine, and then there were a rash of shootings. There was Jonesboro, Arkansas, and then there was Edinburgh, Pennsylvania. And so it was all hands on deck during that school shooting. He shot his 8th grade teacher, who was a beloved coach in the community, just really beloved teacher, and wounded a couple of other students, but the teacher died, and it was really, you know, quite a tragedy. But I mean, that's one of those breaking stories that just really, you know, stays with me for sure.
For sure. Alrighty.
I'm doing fine. In case you
wanted to know.
Time
and keep talking, or do you want to move on?
No. I'm good. Don't worry about me.
Well, you're doing good because you could just ramble and stall time.
I'm not. No, I'm good.
This could be
an
hour-long episode.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty. Next, we have the red Savina pepper. Scoville is 577,000 with 4 flames. So we're getting close to the 5 mark. Melinda's makes some great sauces.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Some that I've never had, honestly, ever in my life.
Well, when we were looking at sauces, one of the odd things that I noticed looking at them is they like to throw in a lot of words that we're not allowed to put on camera.
Okay, I'm not going to say
As
like
a conversation.
what.
Yeah.
I got it.
I had to bite my tongue there. But yeah, there are certain things that they could put on a sticker, but we don't put on camera.
Okay, we don't say. Okay.
All right, you ready?
I'm
This is wing number 4.
Ready. I'm stuttering.
It only hurts till it doesn't. Right?
Okay. Uh-huh.
That's where you start to sweat a little bit, that one.
Uh-huh. Yep. Wow. Okay. Good.
All right, let's do it. Do you have specific techniques you use to get compelling quotes or sound bites from interview subjects?
Well, I can tell you that I don't serve hot sauce when I'm interviewing them. You know, what I've learned, sorry, I'm kind of crying. What I've learned is to relate to people, right? To listen to their stories, to listen attentively. And I think one of the strengths, but also one of the problems, is that I'm wildly empathetic. And so becoming involved in people's stories is good reporting, and it's good interviewing. But it can also take a toll on you, right? So I think, you know, the best things that I've taken and the things I try to teach my students is it's a conversation you have with somebody. It's not, I need to get things from you. I need this and then I have to get out of here and do my story. I mean, be invested in somebody and really, you know, get to know them. And those are the techniques I've taken with me all my life in teaching and caring about my students, caring about people I interview, and being genuine with them.
Right. So talking to them like as a person, not just as a story.
Right. I can't feel my lips. I'm just telling you.
Well, ready to keep moving?
Yeah, sure. Sure. I never pass up a challenge.
Alrighty. So this is the ghost pepper. This is the one that was really popular on social media a few years ago.
Okay.
This is the Scoville, where we're going to go into 7 digits. 1 million. And this is 5 Flames, their highest rating.
Okay, so we're doing well. We're almost at the end. I can do this.
We haven't gotten into the milk.
No.
We had a total mess with the sugar and everything by this time last week.
Sugar. Yeah, I didn't bring my own sugar.
Everything.
Okay.
Perfect.
There we go.
Alrighty. So, get right into the wing here. Perfect.
You're an old pro at this, Nathan. I
like
most
spicy
impressed.
foods. So.
I'd like to see you do the weather doing this. So
that would be fun.
Holy moly! Oh,
yeah,
okay.
That was hot.
Yep. Yep.
All right. I'll jump right into the question.
Go right ahead.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
What would you say is the most rewarding story or segment you've worked on? You can drink the milk if you need to.
No, I won't. So, most rewarding story. Just a moment. The most rewarding story. It's all gone from my mind because I can't feel anything.
That's what makes this interview fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you're having fun. The most rewarding story. The most rewarding story, I'm crying about it, it's so rewarding. The most rewarding story. Rewarding for me in the sense that I was able to really impact someone's life and I knew about it. Typically all the stories that I've told, you know, I don't know necessarily what the impact is, but but the one story that stands out to me, there was a woman who was abducted by a group of people and was put in the trunk of a car, held at knife point, was taken to the ATM. They were playing loud music and made her drain her bank account, essentially. And she had a cut on her neck. And, you know, I would say she was in her, I think, 70s. But at the time, I went to interview her to talk about that experience. It was a moment where she and I just had a conversation and we talked about it. I told the story, it went on air. And then it must have been a week later, the general manager of the television station called me into his office and he said, I want to talk to you. And he always had a cigar in his mouth and I want to talk to you. I'm like, oh God. And so he said, I want you to know that the husband of that woman that you interviewed for that story came to tell me how great that was. It was more like a therapy session. He was here to compliment me. Normally people are throwing things or calling me a, whatever, a vulture. But he had come to to appreciate the work I had done, and that really mattered to me, that somebody felt like it was a therapy session and not an interview. Okay, that's the last thing I want to say. Go ahead.
All right, we're going to push along right to the next one here?
Sure, why don't we?
Right.
Oh my heavens. All right.
You're not going to be happy to hear this.
I know, I don't
This is
think
the
I am.
scorpion pepper.
Oh,
The Scoville is
Goody.
2 million,
Okay.
so it's double the last one.
Okay.
This is the highest at 5 flames again.
Okay.
And it's important for us to mention that there's a review, the top review, says it blew my head off, and that's all it says.
Blew my head off.
Blew my head off. That's their top review, and
okay.
that's all it says.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So that's all we have to work with. And I can review it. This one, as soon as you open the bottle, you smell it right away.
I'm afraid. I don't
Yeah.
want to smell it. I probably can't smell anymore. I'm sure that
Well, my
that
nose
taste
is
buds are-
running. I'm starting to sweat a little
Yeah.
bit.
You seem fine.
No, I'm sweating. I'm just holding it together.
Okay. All right.
Ready?
Scorpion.
Scorpion. This is the scorpion pepper.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Ready?
Let's
Cheers.
do it.
Cheers. Here we go.
Alrighty. This is where it goes downhill. Hot.
I mean, it's really good. Okay.
It's hot.
I'm drinking. I'm sorry, but I
Go
have
into
to
the
drink.
milk. You were so close. Alright. You made it really far. You made it real far.
Okay.
Alright.
Good. There's no more.
Question.
That feels.
What advice would you give to someone starting out in broadcast journalism?
The biggest advice I can give somebody is don't do this.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever it is, don't do this. Oh my gosh. Just a minute. Okay, I'll tell you in a minute.
Well, if we're doing it, I'm going to have some too, because I
Okay.
am sweating.
The biggest advice I would give to somebody is,
Be careful with the hot sauce in your eyes. It's
oh, yeah,
Yeah,
I got that.
use
I got
different
it.
parts of
No,
the
no,
tongue.
I don't want
Yeah.
that to happen. Oh my gosh. The best advice I can give somebody going into television, for instance, would be to do a lot. I don't know. I just do you. That's
just do you.
I'm not kidding. I would tell them to. Oh, I would tell them to. Wait, it'll come to me. I would tell them to get involved. Get involved in everything that you can. Okay, is there any more questions?
That is the last wing and the last question. You made it all the way to the end.
Wow, thanks. I really,
completed it
really,
all.
really had a good time, Nate.
That's it. Well, we appreciate you coming on today. You were a great guest, and you made it through all. That's all we can ask, and you answered all the questions.
Okay. I'm really happy to have helped you out.
We're going to wrap up our second episode of Spicy Scholars. Thank you for checking in, and again, thank you, Kim, for being such a great guest.
You're welcome. Thanks,
All right.
Nate.
Thanks for joining our show where knowledge gets fired up.